So, welcome back to the layout, and this week I want to try and improve some of this mess I made on the backdrops last week. So I purchased these from Model Railway Scenery, and you get three. It is just basically a printed sheet. I've put it on some card already because I didn't want to stick it straight to this backdrop. I wanted to sort of give it a bit more depth. So as you can see, I will have sort of one here, sort of, and that will join up to the other two going along here, which will sort of try and hide some of this mess that I made in a way, and just give it a little bit more depth to the layout. I need to put in some bushes and things like in front of it. So this would be like the back of a warehouse, and if I put something in front of these fences as well, I think that would sort of work quite well. So I've got to cut these out. Actually, I think that one's the middle one, and then these are the two ends, so that would work out all right. So I need to just cut that one out, get that one in there, and they should just fit along there quite nicely. I don't want to go all the way down, but after I purchased these three, I was thinking perhaps I should have got some more, but I have copied these, but obviously they don't come out as quite as good, and I did try them initially by putting them on some card and just seeing how well they actually worked, and they seem to work quite well. So I've just started to get these cut out now, so I'm going to cut the rest out, and I'm actually going to stick them onto the back of the backboard itself, and I think that would work. I need to just take it a little bit easy because I can't just reprint this same quality. So it's mistakes. I'll have to buy a new sheet. But there again, I do have some copies of these just in case, because I was going to mount them onto two sheets of the card. Right, I sort of changed my mind on that one. I just didn't think they were quite right to be that thick. I thought just one sheet. So I did think like that. So the wood, that's three sheets, and wasn't sure. But I think they're just the one piece of card. That one almost. There we go. So that's the two cut out. I'll get the other one cut out, and I can start getting that on. So they're designed to go together. So you have the centre one. So how do they join onto the centre one? If we just chop those two pieces off. Or do you have a left and a right and a centre? I'll have to have a look, see how they join. But give me 5 minutes and I'll get the other one cut out. So what I am going to do is just get some double-sided tape here. I did clean that out. Let's put that to one side for a minute. Just don't want to get any glue or anything that's on that mount. do need to give it a really good clean. Right, I think I'll put a bit down the middle as well, I think. I don't think it really matters, I've just ripped him off. Yeah, I should stick all right. So we've got one side there. Let me get the rest on the... I might do this one neater. See, that's the proper way to do it. And one in the middle, just the same. And just one last one. I decided to just do that one, I don't know why. When I was just cutting away, just getting lazy. Right, I think I'm going to see what these look like on the layout. I am going to start with this one, I think. If I don't, I might not get it in the right space, so bear with me. I'm going to have to do it sort of over the back rather than getting in front of the camera. Oh. Should have took this off earlier, just, you know. Right, I'm gonna have to come round the front, I think, to do this, because I just cannot see properly. Once I've committed, it's gonna get stuck. There we go. That's the first one. That's not too bad. I've got the middle of the factory. Oh, just trying to get these off. Should have really took them all off before I started this piece of the video. This is where I get it upside down. There we go. Oh. And I'll get this one stuck on in a second. I'll get the back intake. Right, let's get this last one in place. I think it's much much better with a bit of a cardboard backing as well. Because then it's not going to show any creases through. Still got this piece here, so don't know what I can do with that. Yeah, not bad. You can see it really from more eye level now, and I think that's quite effective actually. I think maybe just a few bushes in the front of here, some lichens or something like that, that will just hide some of this freshly mowed grass, and that'll match up nice. Right, on with the next job. Right, so what I have got is I've got this HTD models for the office block. I have shown you this before, I've just not got round to building it. It's all still sealed. But one of the problems I've got is it's 200 by 166, and I need to make that 100 to fit the layout. So I'm going to see if I can modify this to work. So let's have a quick look of what we get. That didn't sort of work as I planned then. Yep. And there's going to be some instructions. And I must have taken the glazing out. Oh no, the glazing's there. Plenty of that. Big set of instructions. It's a bit more complex than the low relief ones, but I'm going to turn it into a full relief but half the size, if that makes sense. So the first job is really to have a look at the instructions, decide on all the parts. I don't know if it's got a breakdown of the parts, no. So what I will do then is I'm going to take everything out, remove everything from the bits of card, and see where I am on that. It's quite hard to see sometimes when it's just pure white. But I need to cut that in half, I will. And it's going to be a lot to cut down actually. Okay, wish me luck, I'll get it started. Well, that's everything cut out. The only thing I haven't actually cut out, when I said everything, it's like I've not done the roof packers type B and type A, just so I know what they are and where they are and when I'm going to use them. Otherwise they'll just get all in a mess, and I might have ended up putting them in the scrap pile over here, sort of with all the other bits of rubbish. So that's the only bit I've not taken out. I've got to work out how to, because obviously I want to cut this in half, and I was thinking about folding it completely, well, cutting it in half and then just sticking the two halves together. I think they've got to go through. I haven't even read the instructions yet, but I can see it'll have to go through these sort of holes to line up. So will it go through if I double the thickness of that? Possibly not. But what I could do is double the thickness but leave it single thickness at the edge. And that's what I might have to do. But obviously I want to do it that way around. And I did measure it on the layout and it worked out as like 100mm. So it would come to about there actually. So I would just, so that's not actually in half. but I think that would work all right. I think I might double check the measurements on the layout, because I know what I'm like. I measure once and end up cutting twice. I always say measure twice, cut once, and I just shortcut. So I'm going to remeasure that on the layout and just make sure that I have got 100mm and it will fit. Hi, and there we have my fully built building. I've modified it slightly and made a few mistakes on the way. I didn't read the instructions as carefully as I should, put it that way, and I got to this stage here because I'd modified it that much. I actually, all this cladding I actually thrown away, and I had to go back into the bin and fetch it all back out, and I hadn't creased any of it, so you can see the cladding's on there. I had to chop it down at the side, so that much is cut out, so cut that out and then re-put the sides back in, put the floors in, put some lights in as well. I tested all the light bleed with the torch initially, just made sure everything worked. I've actually frosted the glazing because I've decided not to put all interior into it, so that's just going to be on like that. If I can get my battery to stay connected. Right, fingers there. So it's not going to flicker like a fluorescent tube. It will just stay on just like that, and the idea with the frosting is just that I don't have to put any interior in that. I did have to paint all the interior to stop the light bleed, and I painted that with just some acrylic black, but like me, I just got impatient and went to put the floors in and the lights, got paint on my hands, so I got a bit of paint on the outside there, some on the back. Not worried about the bit on the back. That's on the side where you don't really see it, so it's this side and that front. It's going to be the main one. I need to put a little bit of weathering, I think, just around the building, and I still need to let that glue dry before I actually fit it. And I did quickly test it to see if it did fit in the area that I want, and yes it did. So the next thing I'm going to do is get this on the layout now, drill the hole, get it attached to the lighting circuit, and well, before that actually I want to put some signage on the front. So I've still got one of the signs that I printed for the traction maintenance depot, so I'm going to put that on, which just means it's easier to put on before I put it on the layout. So I'll get that sign on and then get this on the layout, and then you can see it in place. Well, that's it on the layout. I think that looks all right actually. I've built the base up to make it to the same height as they are standing. It's not perfectly straight to the viaduct at the back, but I think that'll be okay. I mean, I could make it a little bit straighter by just taking a small piece off the bottom, but I don't think it's really makes that much difference. I think that'll be fine. I'm just going to fix it down and then get the wiring sort of sorted. But I think that building just finishes off the traction maintenance depot. Right, station platform. I've made this loosely based on the scale seams. I didn't follow any instructions. I just used the sort of textures that they've used. I just used, I think, 2mm card for all the front, 1mm card for the edge in there, and 1mm card for the top, and then all the wraps. You can see from the back, I've just sort of patched, worked anything in that I thought would work. I've also put a couple of large blocks of card in here, and that's the idea of the lights will go on there, so they won't sort of flop around just on 1mm sort of card or anything like that. So that should be okay. I made it, I wasn't sure whether to make it only sloped at one end initially, so it looked like the platform carried on, but I have made it now in just a small platform just for the end. Obviously I need some sort of small building now and some fencing at the back, which I don't have. So I need to think about what I am going to put on here, and what do I have any fencing in stock? And no, I don't have any station fencing at all. So I mean, this is designed so you can use the ratio fencing, or I think it's ratio in OO gauge. I think it's Pico in N gauge, but it's exactly the same fencing. So I'm going to just see if this fits the layout, because I did measure it, and I think I got it right. So let's just go and see if it does fit the layout now. Right, let's see if it fits. And yes, yeah, I got that right. A little bit short on either end, but I'll put a bit of grass texture around the ends of the slopes of the platform, but that's okay. I do need to spray that in matte lacquer, because I haven't done that yet, so I don't want to get that damaged. And so the lights will go about there and there, small building there, and then that's it really. Like I said, just I will need to put some fencing at the back, but I could actually put some wall if I wanted to, so I could create a bit of a wall. It'd look more like the Metcalf kits then, so, but I think that doesn't look too bad. Gives it the small halt for the shuttle there, disappears behind the factory and stops at the station. So, right, I'm going to finish off the station with just a small shelter, I think. These came with the station platform pieces, which are used from scale seams, so I'm going to get these mounted on the bits of card. So I've got heavy card there. Should be quite a quick build, this piece actually. It's always the cutting out takes a bit more time, and then you've got light card. I've got light card there. So get the Pritt stick out. Go to there. Oops. I've already sprayed all these up with matte lacquer, so I'm not going to get it soaked with glue and ruin all the ink. Although Pritt stick never does that anyway, so it's a pretty good glue. So I need to let them dry. We've got medium card, just 1mm thick. Exactly, that's medium. So. One piece, a heavy card. I'll put it that way around. So you also get a lamp hook with this. So be so it will build the lamp hook as well. So I think I'll get both of those built. Let me get those, let them dry before I start cutting them out. If you start cutting them out when the glue's just a little bit wet, you'll just hit the card and you'll just get annoyed. And what I can do, I can start cutting all the print only pieces out, I think. So remember there used to be programs where they used to say, right then, and here I have ones that I've already done earlier. Well, I can't really say that because I'm not going to print and waste loads. So I'm going to cut it out and say, join me in a few minutes when I've got it all cut out, and we can start putting some of this together. Right, that is everything cut out for building A. So I just need to have a look at the instructions and see where I go. Not built this building before, although it's a similar one to what I built in Engage. So let's see how we get on. Okay, it says glue, I'm just reading the instructions again, glue rear walls 1 back to back. So let's get that glued. I'll give that a bit of a good press down, and then where else are we next? Squarely glue one of the rear wall options over the back. So I have chosen that's sort of a lighter, colour. So you've got quite a few different choices. So I've got the front there and the front valance, all the same sort of colour. So I need to glue that on there then. And there is a top and a bottom for this, so I noticed that when I was cutting it out. So, and if you did forget, you can find one of the other options and it will tell you which is your top. So I noticed it with this black mark just going at the top there. So what I tend to do is say put it to the top, and then when I'm on camera I go, oh damn, I'll put it to the bottom. Or something silly like that, I think if you watched me when I was building that inspection pit, it just went horribly wrong. I just can't believe how bad I went on that. But in the end it all worked out right. So let's leave that to dry. And cut out the front wall cover layer options, and apply a thin bit of glue to this. If you want to do it, I say thin, which means massive dollops. Should have used the other applicator. Well, it's not too bad. So it could take a little bit of time to get all this built. So I'm not going to go through every single step. It's quite sort of straightforward to do all these steps. So I just need to then fold all these in, and I've got windowsills to add, and then my windows which I've already glazed and cut out. So I would join me in a little while, and I'll hopefully have this in pretty much finished state. Right, got most of that built. Just got the roof and the valance to do. So I'm just starting to do cut the tiles for the roof. Oh, I missed that first cut. There we go. And this one we just need to, so that one's the front, so you need to put them ones on first, yeah. I'll use Pritt stick. So I don't get it all on the cutting board. Probably a bit too much Pritt stick there, but it'll be alright. Now I want to start at the bottom first, don't I? Actually, should overlap. Probably always overlap a little bit too much on these, and then I'll run out and have to print some more. I'm hoping I don't do that this time. I sometimes just cut them out, and I did that with the dock sort of buildings, and they look fine. Sometimes it's just a bit fussy to do this, but I thought I'd do this time, even though you're not really going to see most of the building. It's right at the back of the viaduct, and just on the building it says put the drain pipe at the back, but I put the downpipe there, so when you're looking at it on the side, I mean, thinking about it, I would have been better off putting it that side, because you'll see it a little bit more, but not to worry. And you know what, I'm going to need a little bit more, because I've overlapped them just that bit too much. I wonder if I can get away with, no, I'm not going to cut loads of pieces out. I'm just going to print another one going. So let me get that ready to go. Wherever the right, then it's winging its way on the printer now. So I'll get that printed, get that stuck on, and then I can get that on the roof. You know, so but while it's drying anyway, I can give me a bit of time to let it dry before I cut those sides off. So I'll be back shortly. Right, just need to finish this off, so I'm going to trim off the excess. Did have slight excess on this edge at the front. So, and that's the roof tiles. They do look quite good, but you're not really going to see it on this layout, so I don't know why I sort of put that much effort in. So, but just want to check how it fits on. So you fit it on upside down, it says, with a nice overlap, small overhang all the way around. I think the overhang is just enough for this to go on, so let me put a bit of glue on there. I think that should be nice and even. Might be a bit too much. Looks okay. So I think that's got to be just the last piece then. So do you put that one on the edge? No, I don't think so. Sometimes the it's not always as clear as you think on the images, so the good thing about looking at it on a PDF is you can zoom in quite nicely. Too much glue, as normal. Don't know why I don't use the small applicator. I keep using the big one. Oops. Right, I'm going to let that glue dry. Before I attempt to fold it around the corner. So, but you sort of getting the gist. Nice little waiting room will be there. I might put a small light in the middle or something like that. Or do I just leave that loose? And then I can always change the station building if I want to, but I'll yet to decide on that. I'm going to let that glue dry before I wrap it round, and then have a look at it on the layout. And there we have the station. It's looking all right. I've added the station lights, as you can see. The TMD is a little bit slow. It does work, the shuttle system, and it is running back and forth, but my DMU still needs a little bit of attention, so it should be coming back very shortly. And I've not fixed the platform shelter down yet, because I wasn't actually sure about that. You see it arrives at the station without any problems. And it seems to be okay. Runs better one way than it does another. But so I've still got to look at that, but I'm quite happy with how everything's looking. It still needs more detail on that station. Obviously, you need some passengers, need some fencing, some station signs saying what station it is, so it needs to be Bar Lane Junction, something like that. But that's as far as really I'm going to go. I've got the office building there, that looks fine, and I think for this week I'm just going to leave it. So I wish you a very good evening or a very good rest of the day. Hope you've enjoyed this week's video. Hopefully I'll get some trains running very soon. I want to do a steam running day, I want a diesel running day, and getting the viaduct working a little bit better. So anyway, you take care and I'll see you on the next video.